I was just looking back at some of the results we got in 2025, like how we're able to help a lot of people, the impact that we're able to make, especially with new students, because the categories of students I get sometimes, mostly I get new students, guys who have heard about Forex and they are trying to learn what it's about, want to make money from the foreign exchange market. And we have different programs for people like that. We have the foundational level program where they go to all the foundation itself. I mean, foundational level. So everything that has to do with foundation, forex, who trades forex, how to trade forex, what's it about. So and then a little bit of technical analysis. At the end of the program, actually, even the first program for beginners, you would still be able to trade. You would have enough knowledge of the market to be able to make an informed decision on what to do. What you just won't have is the advanced level training, really, and also direction in terms of what you want to do. If you want to trade your own money, which is personal funds, if you're looking to maybe take an investment, maybe you have some maybe inheritance, or you have uncles who wants to give you money to trade, but they need you to learn first. So there's another part for that. That's called managing portfolio. So there's also the proprietary firm route, which is you want to trade for companies who would portion a lot of money to you. That's where the money is. I think the biggest withdrawal I've ever made in Forex was on proprietary firm, actually, not trading my own money. So I always advise people to trade pro firm, really. But so if you've only done the beginners training, you probably would not be able to trade prop firm or manage capital. You just know how to deposit, trade with an informed decision. You make profit here, you lose a little bit of money there. You know how to withdraw. It's still okay. But man, some of the things that happened in 2025, we had guys who went with just the beginners training, and these guys are applying to trade for companies, for firms, and they are passing. And before you can trade for any of these companies, you have to go through the evaluation process, which means that they will set up criteria, things you have to. They need to see that you can actually trade, right? So usually, and the pass rate is really low because we have a lot of people who go in there thinking they know how to trade, and then they fail because it's not just about technical examination. They also have to look at behavioral, emotions, your psychology. Most people don't put that into account. They just think that once you know how to trade, you know the technicalities, you can go and buy a Profem account, which is why you see a lot of people lose their Profem account, and you pay to enter the evaluation, which means that when by the end of the day, if you're not successful, if you cannot pass the criteria and breach the account, you would have lost the money, the investment you also made to buy the account, right? So we had some guys, right, who did the unthinkable, went through just the evaluation, went through just the beginners level education, and they are passing this proprietary firm evaluation, and they are going. The way I see it is, these guys are competing with real traders who have 3, 5, 6 monitors, traders who have students and are failing this evaluation, and guys who came through my own course are facing these guys for the same position, and they are getting the job, right? We also had students who only went through the first program and are trading their own money, which means that they are depositing their money. They are not looking to trade for a firm. They are making withdrawals, and some of my students are actually international, which means that most of my classes are. In fact, in 2025, 100% of my classes virtual from January to December. I didn't have one physical class because it's quite expensive, and also I have a day job, so to have a physical class would be very, very. It has to be weekend, and weekend obviously no family, so it was very difficult for me to fix any physical class. But I'm talking about virtual classes. We had so much success, something that just only a few people can do, and it's something I've done over. I have so many certificates from these guys, from these firms, and I see my guys who are learning from me do the same. Like, it's so interesting to see. I had guys who have never traded before learn how to trade for 3 months. Usually we advise them, which is something I still do. I advise them, don't, because of this quick success and think you're a trader, you still need to come back for the second one. You've just gone through the foundational level. You need to also go through the in-depth teaching, right? So you don't, because it's not enough. Foundational level is not enough for you, but you're successful, and it's good because you're able to, you're disciplined enough to use the strategy, implement it, and get results. So I'm very interested. That's very interesting. Like I'm good with that, but still come back for the in-depth teaching. Okay, how am I getting out? So, for I'm grateful that guys who went to the end. We had guys who did not just the foundational level now. Like I took a number of students in 2025, and some actually had like 6 months. In fact, some people started in 2025, and they are still in training in 2026. So we are still going all the way to March for you to know that it's not about rushing it and then you're successful. I think you can trade. So we have a number of offerings, uh, for 2026, programs, and I always recommend Forex. See, just get the knowledge. I'm busy right now, but I can learn, but I can't get the knowledge. Right, just get it because I learned Forex in 2020. No, I learned Forex in 2016. Right, 2015. I started in 2016, but I didn't actually get that breakthrough I was looking for until 2020, which was what I was saying, during COVID, and I was trading proprietary firm accounts, right? And I got that withdrawal, we were able to get married and sort ourselves out here, right? So for me, I always say, just get the knowledge. You never can tell. It could be 4 years, 5 years time, you have access to funds that you can trade now, and then you use it. And you have all the materials anyways, you have all the classes, you have your own notes. So it's something that in 3 years time you can still open your Gmail and go through the notes, open your old notes, open your files, and still remember some of these things and then implement it. Forex has been here before I was born. It's going to be here after I'm gone. So it's not something that you would not need. So that's my advice. So looking at the offerings for 2025, very interesting offerings. If you're looking to learn how to trade Forex, if you know someone who wants to learn. So the mistake people make is you pay to learn from someone who has a huge following on Instagram, and you're thrown into a Telegram group with about 200 people, 250 people, and you're on the call. 30% of the call, it's about whose camera is on, who is not muted. So many people, you're not learning anything. And this is how they compensate you. Then they throw into another Telegram group and send you signals for a month and say, oh yeah, we're going to give you free signals for a month for you to recover your money. That's not value. Even if you're then able to recover 50% of whatever you paid, it's still not what you wanted initially, right? What you wanted was to learn how to trade Forex, and they've just taken that away from you by sending you signals. And what are signals? Basically, when they send you this quote and say, oh, buy at this point, sell at this point, and that is what you were trying to learn how to do yourself. And they've just taken that away from you because they can't teach you anything. So, but with private mentorship, right, because we have different personality and we know that Forex is majorly about our emotions, psychology, right? So if it's 80% emotions, psychology, and discipline, you can't teach Forex to 50 people the same way. Which means that the idea of using a course where you go through page 1, page 2, and expect everybody to get it, that won't work for everyone. Right? So you've got to tailor the teaching, which has worked for me many years. If you watch me take a class with, let's say, trader A, student B, student C, you would see I teach them differently, use different approach based on their personalities, based on their risk appetite, based on how they want to. Because when you take that opportunity from them and say, oh, only open 1 trade per day, we don't have the same appetite, right? You can't tell 10 people to open 1 trade per day and that's your strategy. It's not going to work. Some people want to open 10 trades per day. So you've got to find a way to balance it, right? So, and you can't do that when you have 100 people on the call. Regardless of how affordable the class is, even if they charge you 20,000 naira. If I can do a class and I can do a program, a 3 weeks program, 60 program, and charge 20,000 naira per person, and I have maybe 300 people on the call. At the end of the day, I've made 600,000 naira. Or is this 6 million now? Yeah, I've made 6 million naira. I'm teaching them not maybe 10% of the class will send me result and say, oh yeah, they were able to make X amount of money, which they will eventually, which I know they will lose anyways because they don't know how to trade. And then I'll post that and say, oh, we have results. Look at so many people who join the class for just 20,000 naira. Look at the result they are getting. It's a new type of scam, right? The right way, which is why I'm doing this. The right way is to teach private. Highest you would have in a class is 5. because this is not teaching textbook. It's not physics. It's not about biophysics. It's not. You're not looking at a concept. It's a law. If you're looking at pressure, law of pressure now, Dalton's, Gay-Lussac's, and the likes, avocado. When you look at those laws, these are laws that you can teach the same way anywhere in Japan. You can show them. You pour water, you boil it, you open it. The amount of pressure you have determine how fast it will boil. That's a law. But when you're trading Forex is adaptation. You have to adapt to the market. So you can't teach a law and say, oh, you do this. Even your strategy, you need to keep tweaking it all the time. And so I don't believe in group, especially when it's more than 5. I think 10 will be the highest. And out of the 10, you're expecting maybe 6 would get it, right? So the beginner's bundle I have here is a 3-month course, and you will learn Forex under management. So it's really foundational level, right? And like I said when I was talking, we've had great success, even from just this course. This one course, we've had people who had gone in with thousands of dollars, Canadian, US dollars, a lot of money from this. I'm still telling them to come back and learn the next one, because this one is not enough. I know you've got the success, I know you would do a lot of money, but this is not enough. Come back and learn the real trading concepts. So this is 300,000 naira. It's private, it's one-on-one. So the next one is strategy that you can use to pass proprietary firm. This is where the money is, profit. Everybody knows that. Profit is where the money is. Why is the money in profit? How much can you realistically deposit in your account after trading? Can you deposit $30,000 and start trading? No. So if you're looking, highest a newbie will deposit is maybe $3,000. The average they deposit about $200, $100. So you don't have the capital to make any realistic money. You can't deposit $100 and think that by the end of the year you would have made $10,000. That's a fool's dream, especially when you're just starting off, right? But with proprietary firm, these are companies who would give you huge accounts to trade, right? As if you're one of their staff. It's like an intern job, but they have evaluations you must pass. And the pass rate says that only 7% actually get to the end. So 93% would have lost the entry fee they made. So it's not a very good place to go if you don't know how to trade, which is why I have a strategy that has proven over the years, right? I have so many certificates. Just name the prof and I'll show you the certificates that have passed the evaluation.